I've learned that heaven and hell are a state of beings, right? They're consciousness. And so to be in hell is to reside in your lower chakras, in your root, your sacral, your solar plexus. And to be in heaven is to rise above that, master those energy fields of yours, heal everything from at your heart chakra, speak your truth from your throat chakra, ascend and have an intuition, open up your third eye, and then connect with the Most High God through your crown chakra, right? And that's how we reach heaven by healing our lower chakras, mastering those impulses, the darkness, the lust, the greed, the jealousy, the shame, the guilt, the remorse. We heal all of that. We don't deny that it exists. We integrate it and transmute it into light, and we nurture it. We nurture our dark side, acknowledging that it exists and that is there. But because we've acknowledged it and we know that it's there, we now have control of ourselves in that area. So we master that energy, we transmute it, and we take the lessons out of it, and we bring it up and we transmute it into light, integrating our shadow and our light. Therefore, when a situation comes up where in which we need to use our shadow can come out and be able to protect us, right? But now we have control over it. It doesn't have control over us, right? And so, because these are internal things that are within us, right? The same thing comes when it comes to darkness and sometimes pure evil. Well, most of all the time, pure evil. See, the thing is that when darkness doesn't get acknowledged, it doesn't get sought after, it doesn't get the attention that it needs, the addressing that it needs, the healing that it needs, it goes ahead and it turns into pure evil, right? And so because we're projections of each other and everyone is a possibility of what we could have been or what we are, right? So like when we see pure evil in someone, I see them and I'm like, that could have been me. That's why I don't pass judgment, right? Because some people would go through the same thing that I've gone through and they would just they turn completely pure evil. And on the other hand, I went through the same thing that they went through. I experienced it in a different way. I went ahead and took a different approach, and now I am the person that I am, right? But had I not been the way that I am, I could have been that. So I don't pass judgment because of that. The point being of this lesson is that everything is within us, right? That darkness, those shadows, we all have them. Now, what we choose to do with our free will, when we choose to address them, face them head on, look at them directly and say, okay, I see you. What is it that you're trying to teach me? What is it that I didn't do in my childhood, or what happened that allowed me to get to this point? And how can I address it? How can I heal it? Let's heal it together. Let me hold your hand. Let me go back to my childhood. Let me go to my inner child and heal, right? And transmute that darkness into light. Now, nurturing that wounded child that was within me from before, right? And so what happens is that a lot of the people who are out here just causing chaos in their life and in other people's life, sometimes going to the extreme as to being diabolical, they're wounded children. They never went back and healed their inner child. And that's not for us to judge, you understand? Because sometimes, like at this point right now, I'm able to make decisions. I have different resources available to me where I can get the help that I need, where I can go ahead and do something different. And then if you look back in time, a lot of people were not able to do these things. And even if today, we all have a lot of resources, some people either don't know about these resources, or they've been groomed not to touch those resources or look into that, or they just simply don't want to. But that's not for us to judge. The reason being that anything that we judge, not only do we have to repeat, but if we see it in someone else, we see it in ourselves, whether good or bad. So if I see somebody and I say, oh my God, she's so loving, caring, and kind, usually I have those traits as well. And if I look at someone and I go, she's so judgmental, she's so materialistic, I have those traits as well in me. So a judgment is basically a confession of myself, right? So I'm very mindful when I'm casting judgment or when I am looking at what other people have. The reason being that I understand that we are all a reflection of one another. We are one consciousness, experiencing reality individually, but we are all interconnected. So anything that I judge, anything that I pass judgment on, everything that I don't accept from others, or not accept, because it's not accepting, it's approving of, accepting and approving are two different things. Anything that I don't approve of, I will have to also repeat, because it usually is a confession from me about how I feel within me. And sometimes we don't realize that that's what we're doing, but that is what we're doing. But the point of the beginning of the video was that when it comes to darkness and pure evil and diabolical things, right? They're within us. They're not outside of us. And so we've been taught to look outside of us for like a connection with God. And also when it comes to demonic things, we think that is an outside force, right? In reality, that force is within the same way that God is within us, the same way that we have to master that darkness that we all carry within. And the moment that we acknowledge that we are honest with ourselves and say, like, because when we feel envy, when we feel jealousy, that's a form of darkness, right? And so that's at a lower level, because jealousy could get really like deep as well. Like, there are some people that go all the way, like, how Selena, how the lady killed her and stuff like that. There are some people that go like, I have a whole story to tell you on that one, that they go really deep into that, right? If you don't treat it, it gets bad, or like cure it, right? Or basically exercise the demon type of scenario, it gets really dark, right? So we have to start looking at things and saying and being able to identify, like, okay, I feel some jealousy. Okay, why am I feeling jealous? What is it that I am jealous about? What is it that I am envious about? What is it that in me, that what is it that this is trying to teach me, right? It's not outside of us, it's inside of us. And that doesn't mean that we're pure evil. We have these experiences, but the point of them is to alchemize the energy and bring it up and transmute it into light, into prosperity, into learning, into a higher knowing, right? And not just like, oh my God, I'm feeling jealous, what is wrong with me? No, nurture it. What is this trying to teach me? Why am I feeling this way? So it's not outside of us. We all are able to experience good and bad, light and darkness, and it's within us, right? However, when we don't treat the darkness, it becomes diabolical. This is how people get to the point that they get, where they go to when they take it to hell. You understand what I'm saying? They take it to hell, right? It's because they didn't address it. They let it consume them and consume them. And as they let it grow and grow and grow, more and more and more and more of these diabolical forces were able to inhabit that vessel, and it became a big diabolical thing. I'm going to come back with part 2.